Hello. Today I will be reviewing two of my Funko collection pieces out of probably roughly 50 pops. And I will also be telling you what got me into these specific Funkos. Now, let us begin. We'll start with my newest addition to the Funko collection, Venom. It's an exclusive, and it's metallic. Definitely one of my favorite ones because, unlike most of the others I have, this is one of two Venom Funkos that I own that actually has a tongue out. So one of my personal favorites, and one that I just recently got at North Park Mall, thanks to my amazing father, who will be live in an hour or so on Funko Illuminati's channel. But this is definitely one of my favorites because of the fact that it is a newer one, so it will grow on me. But I also really like the design. I like the fact that it's metallic. And again, this is just kind of something I'm a fan of. It was actually just recently removed from my wish list on the Funko app and put into my collection. Let's review the box. No severe damage. Looks like this top corner is a bit bent, but that can be fixed with some pressure. And the bottom looks good. The rest of its set I do not have, but probably some stuff that I might get. Black Suit Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, and Punisher. Looks like those are the other Funkos in this collection for me to try and get. We're in this set. One of the reasons I like this so much is because growing up, massive Spider-Man fan. Now I'm personally more of a DC fan, but most of my collection consists of Marvel and a couple of other series, I guess you could call brands. But those will be reviewed and revealed in future episodes. So for now, a personal favorite from the Venom collection that I have, well, symbiote collection, I guess, because I have more. To be exact, I have 4, 6, 7 more items to show off in future episodes from Venom. And actually, probably 8, because I do want to show off one other thing. It's just not on my collection shelf right now. As you can see behind me, we have a Baby Yoda poster. Then we have this up here that I got at a con in, I want to say, Cedar Rapids on January 31st. Something that my mom and dad bought for me. Huge Stitch fan. Don't have very many Stitch. Don't have very many Stitch Funkos. Actually, I don't have any Stitch Funkos. But I am hoping to add those to the collection eventually. And that means more episodes in the future. So, a quick review on this one. Little damage. Only damage I'm seeing is right here, which again can probably be fixed with pressure. I do like this box because I like the design, like the comics. Because I believe this is actually the only Venom Funko that I have that actually has a design like this one. And I'm also a big fan of how this one keeps the traditional Venom design. It's not like one of the Venoms that's either too super bulky, but also not super skinny either. And spoiler alert, I dislike all of the Venom 2 movie pops. I personally believe that all of them could have had a way better design. So most likely, you will never see any of those on one of these collection reveal episodes. Again, that is a most likely, unless I decide that, well, maybe one when I actually have money, because I do like the Black Knight Carnage, and I think that's from the movie. I want to say, yeah, but definitely, probably if that's from the movie, that's the only one you will ever see on one of these. If I ever get it, which I'm hoping to. But yeah, if I had to guess, out of my entire Venom collection, which so far only consists of 10 things, which is 6 Funko items, and 4 non-Funko related collectibles, or pieces that I'm going to call a collectible, because one of them isn't really a collectible, but it's going to be part of the collection. But definitely a favorite from this one. If I had to guess from my entire collection, I'd say this one is probably in the top 3. Because I'd say my favorite, probably going to be one of the ones I show off last. But for Funkos, this is definitely top 3. My next Funko that I'm showing off is also in my top 3. So I chose 2 pretty good ones for my for the first stream. But yeah, definitely top 3. Definitely a good Funko. Yeah, there's not much more to say about this one. Again, it is very traditional, so there's not much to say on its design, other than the fact that it is metallic and that it does keep that very traditional Venom look to it. You know, big white eyes that aren't necessarily straight. Big white spider that I believe goes all the way around the pop. Well, the legs do anyway. Another thing I like about it is how pretty much, I think almost every Marvel pop is a bobblehead. And the reason I keep glancing over to my left is because of the fact that I'm looking at the rest of my collection. I believe almost every, if not every, pop that is Marvel related is a bobblehead. But I know for a fact that this one is, it's very traditional. Spider all the way around. Kind of got the 6-pack or the 8-pack or whatever. And then you got his hands that look like they're ready to swing up and grab something. But yeah. So again, very traditional design, so there's not much I can say on that other than the fact that I am a huge fan of the traditional Venom design. So I can't really say that it's not one of my favorite pops. I'm going to package this one up and then get my next one in there. My next pop in the stream. So yeah, definitely a top 3 favorite, and definitely probably will be one of my favorites until I can find something that I like even more, which probably won't happen for a very, very long time. Give me one moment so that I can get the next Funko ready. Alright, so next up, Venomized Doctor Strange. Definitely, like I said, another top 3 favorite. One reason that I really like this one is simply because of the design. I love how only about 50% of him is venomized because the inside of his cape not venomized. And then I like how half of his outfit is about half of his outfit is still still normal. I'm a big fan of that. And he'll give me one moment. Alright, sorry about that. Definitely just accidentally clicked the wrong thing. But one reason I like this one so much is because of the fact that it doesn't look like a traditional Venom design, but it also doesn't look like Doctor Strange either. Except for the details, like the hair. But I would say that this is definitely probably one of the best pops that pulls off the Venom look anyway. Because believe it or not, even though I love Venom, Spider-Man, I'm personally not a big fan of very many of the Venomized pops. The only other Venomized pop I'm really a big fan of is probably the Venomized Iron Man, simply because I like how his suit goes from red to black, and his laser beams go from blue to red, which I like that detail quite a bit. Here's the pop out of the box. As you can see, traditional Venom colors, and then we can see the half that's mostly venomized, and then the half that's not venomized that much. Because as we can see in the chest, area, this have to have a little bit of venomized on it, plus the cape, and then the head. But other than that, it is a very nice pop, and it does balance because of his cape. So he can stand up without standing up, which I like. So, again, this is one of my top 3. I do like how wild his hair is, because usually his hair is pretty tame unless it's in a battle. Well, Doctor Strange's hair is. So I am quite a big fan of how wild his hair is in this compared to normal. And then also, I love how slick his cape is on the back compared to the front. Because if we look at here, in his cape, we can see just how I can feel the fact that on this side of the cape, the inside, that it's a bit more rough than this side over here, a lot smoother. But another reason I like this one is because not only has he been venomized, but you can see that the venomized part will probably start to take over the Eye of Agamotto area and take over the Time Stone, which I find really cool, because that would technically mean that Venom has control over time, which I find neat. But again, big fan of the design. Definitely a top 3. I'd say probably second favorite, then this one right here. Definitely third favorite, because the only one that competes with this is my favorite, and between those two, there's no competition. This is by far the one that I like less. I do like both of them quite a lot, but my other one I am quite a big fan of, considering it has the traditional Venom design, but it strays so far away and it looks amazing, if that makes sense. So, anyway, back on track. We've got the cape, which I just love how the inside is just barely being venomized, as we can see on like the rim here. Then we can see like right here, you know, that's still part of the cape, so, or his cloak, that's part of his cloak, and that's venomized. That's neat. And then again, his outfit being quite most like about half venomized, pretty cool, I'd say. And then his head being entirely venomized, I find amazing, because I do love the traditional Venom colors on anything. And I love how, you know, Popeyes are supposed to be black, or at least most of them are, but Venom and almost I think every venomized pop has white eyes. I want to say every venomized pop. So that's one thing I like. I also love how instead of getting like Venom's traditional eyes like on this one, he got to keep the round little circle eyes. I like that detail. I think it stays like that on most Venomized pops, but regardless, again, definitely a favorite, personal favorite anyway. And if I had to rate this on like a scale of from 1 to 10, I would say that this one right here is probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. And then my favorite, probably a 10 out of 10. And then as for this one, probably a 6 or, well, definitely a 7. So this one would be anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8, because I can't really decide. But if I do get the Blacklight Carnage pop that I'm wanting, that will probably either A, take over this one and become the second place, or it will take first place for my favorite pop, make this third place, and my favorite pop second place. My current favorite pop. Not sure yet. But again, big fan of the design. I love how the heads are bobbly, because it almost reminds me of the way Doctor Strange's head bobs back and forth in Endgame, or whichever movie it was where he said there are billions of universes in which we lose, or out of billions of universes, there was only one that they won in. Which, if you think about it, technically he lied, because they ended up going back in time and end up winning in that same universe. Something to think about, if you ask me. But yeah, so definitely a favorite from the Venom set that my Venom collection. And the reason I constantly call it my Venom collection is because of that guy right there, Baby Yoda. I have almost every Baby Yoda pop. So, actually, speaking of which, I might as well show a couple of them, only due to the fact that they aren't on display, so they would pretty much never get shown otherwise, and I don't like that. I want every piece that I own to be showed. So, once I get this back in here, as soon as I figure it out, we will see, I believe, 2 pops that are not on display, only due to the fact that I ran out of room on my shelf. Oh, hey, I just got the notification for Funko Illuminati stream in 30 minutes. Anyway, so, again, definitely a favorite. So, definitely going to always have a special place in my heart, as this was actually one of my very first Venom Funko Pops, because I actually just got this one not too long ago after I graduated from elementary school. Uh, so I am a big fan of this one because it will always hold a special place in my heart because it was a graduation present that I got to pick out. So definitely like that. But now we're gonna review the box. So as for damage wise, doesn't look like there's any damage or major damage anyway on the top. Feels pretty smooth as well. So I'd say the top is good. As for the back, again, feels pretty smooth, looks pretty smooth. I'd say that one's another good one. On this side, I'm not sure if it's visible at all, but there's a small indentation. And the only reason I know is because I can feel it when I run my finger across. There are actually two. One right here that I'm not sure if it is visible. I don't think it is. Well, maybe. It's probably not visible right now, but if I can ever find a way to make it visible, I will show you. And then again here, or if I can find a spot where it is visible. Boom. Again, this feels pretty smooth. And then as for the side right here, also feels pretty smooth. Bottom, nice and clean. Right here, I do like the fact that it has the symbiote in the background on his. But I will be right back, as I do have to do something real quick. So I'll let my avatar on StreamYard take over. Alright. Sorry about my absence just now. Anyway. Back to what's important. The pops. And if my dog would stop bothering me. Give me a second to grab a drink. Alright. Got my drink. And then got the dog. Anyway. Back to what I was saying. Axel, no. Back to what I was saying. Before I took my leave, I'm going to show you two pieces that aren't on display. And usually I would only review, on most of these episodes, I will review 2 Funkos, but I'm reviewing 3 this time, or 4 this time, only due to the fact that I feel if I do not review these right now, they won't get reviewed at all. So, again, right here, this is my Venomized Doctor Strange, and this is the Venom. So, definitely top 3 for the Venom. This right here, I'm not too sure why I don't have it on display, because it's my absolute favorite Baby Yoda pop that I have. And yes, I call him Baby Yoda, even though he's Grogu. Anyway, this is actually the only pop in this entire reveal that has a protector. The reason for this is because this is my favorite Baby Yoda pop, but 2, because it has the butterfly with it. The butterfly means something special to me, because my aunt passed away in 2020, and one of her favorite animals was the butterfly. So, for that exact reason, this has a protector, because this means a lot to me, especially that little blue butterfly right there. So, this is definitely a 10 out of 10, definitely my favorite Baby Yoda pop. I'll set it right here next to the Venoms. As for the next one, probably another favorite of mine that is not on, I don't believe it's on display. No, not on display. I wouldn't say this is one of my favorites. I like it, but definitely not one of my favorites, because Baby Yoda is being attacked by a chowder squid. So, I'm not a fan of him being attacked. It's like I'm being attacked by my dog. So, anyway. Give me 1 moment. Oof. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah, pop. I have, like I said, almost all of the pops. So, well, all of the general pops. I don't have some of them because I personally don't see the point in like a Macy's Day Parade when I do have one of them. Because a good friend, LBD, gave it, sent it to me. But definitely a fan of this one. I definitely need to clean up its box because not sure if it's really visible, but there's a lot of gunk on there. Let's do a damage review. Nothing here. Nothing on the top. Nothing on here. Nothing on the bottom. Nothing on the back. And it doesn't look or feel like anything on the front. So, nothing here. I know for a fact this one is not damaged. Even though it is in a cheap protector, I do know for a fact that it's not damaged at all. These I've made sure to ensure this one has absolutely no damage. Again, because it's special to me, because of the sentimental value. And then, now what I'm going to talk about is why I like these pops so much. Like I said earlier in the stream, when I had first pulled up this pop right here, I stated that I loved Spider-Man growing up. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the movies, only because of the fact that I didn't really know that the movies existed at that point in time. I was always a big fan of the cartoons, though. Whenever they'd come on, I would always look at Spider-Man and go, wow, he's awesome. That's what I'd always think to myself. So, after a while, I found out about Venom. And I was like, that's Spider-Man, but 10 times better. So that's why these guys are so amazing to me, or awesome. At least that's what I think. So, and another reason I always loved Venom is because, you know, he's a hero, but he's a villain, an anti-hero. I always loved the idea of him, of never knowing what he was going to do. Like Spider-Man, you always know. He's going to try and save the day. Most likely he'll succeed. And so will almost every hero or anti-hero. What they're doing is the hero part of things, they're going to succeed 99.999% of the time. So, that's why I like Venom so much. Again, because I grew up, watched Spider-Man, and I actually have a couple of Spider-Man figures here. Let me pull one out, because I only have the one, but, and it's actually a Venomized figure, but I don't consider it part of my collection, considering I literally play with it on a regular basis, too. So, I can just get it out from where I put it. Show it to you. Now, I want to say that this is either Agent Venom or it is Venomized, one of the Venomized Spider-Man. But here it is. Someone could tell me when this video actually gets views. You know, that'd be great. One of the reasons I like this so much is because I have had it for years now. I think I got this when I was, I want to say 4 or 5, around that age, and so I've had this for a very long time. I love the spikes on it. Well, what are supposed to be spikes on its shoulders and on its legs. I'm a big fan of that. But I do like I said, I love the iconic big white spider on here. I love that, and I think it's cool. And the only reason I believe it's Agent Venom is because Agent Venom has the almost sunglasses-like design. I think he's the only one that has that. And so, I really like this one. Again, I have had it for a very long time, so it has grown on me compared to what I when I had it as a kid. So again, definitely one of my favorite pieces. But I do not view it as a collectible. I view it simply as a toy. Nothing more, nothing less. This is a toy. Although I do believe it needs fixed thoroughly, due to the fact that if I were to do this and then try and put the leg back, uh, not sure that's supposed to be. I'm not sure that's how that's supposed to work, but how when I put this back, unless maybe I do this, but that doesn't really work because he's still in a somewhat awkward position. So, but this is indeed one of my favorite and oldest Venom items, I guess. So, this will always hold a special place in my heart as I have had it for a very long time. And I will just set him up here with the two pops that I reviewed today. Again, another reason I love Venom so much is just because of how much it grew on me as I was younger, because of Spider-Man. And I guess the reason I like Spider-Man so much is because I always thought that, some heroes were overrated. Like Captain America, cool. Iron Man, he's pretty cool. Wasn't a big fan of him growing up. Looking back on it now, I do like him quite a bit. Hulk, I like him, but definitely he used to be my favorite until I found out about Spider-Man, because I was like, okay, well, he has enhanced strength, enhanced speed, and that web slinging ability and wall climbing ability seems pretty useful. So I like that, because sure, Hulk can jump, but if we're talking about, and then also if we're talking about the different types of Spider-Man, Tom Holland, definitely my favorite now. Andrew Garfield, never really was a big fan. Tobey Maguire, I mean, I like it only due to the fact that he doesn't have to have anything special to make his webs. It's organic. And I do like the fact that his is organic, so I think that's pretty cool. As for Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield, their machines are cool, but I definitely like the idea of fully organic webbing, because it pretty much just means infinite webbing. So I do like that. And again, the only reason I even found out about Venom is because of Spider-Man and watching those cartoons that I mentioned a little earlier. Those cartoons played a big part in finding Venom and whatnot. And then just recently, I watched both Venom movies. First one was awesome. Definitely going to be something I don't forget anytime soon. Second one was not anywhere near as memorable. The characters looked cool in the movie. I didn't like how Cletus Cassidy's girlfriend Scream didn't even have a symbiote, even though that's kind of Scream's thing. And then I also didn't like how she did almost nothing throughout the entire movie, especially because of how big she was toward the beginning, along with Cletus. You really would have thought that a character who had that much introduction time would have played a much bigger role. I know this was a Funko review, but because I'm on the topic of Venom, this is why I'm reviewing the movies as well. So, if I had to rate them, I would say for this first one, 4.5 out of 5 stars, only due to the fact that I was kind of hoping that Eddie's ex, I can't remember her name, like Anne or something. I was hoping that she and Eddie would get back together, but they didn't. So, but I did like that little side story. And then, as for the second movie, I would rate it maybe 2.5 stars. Again, only due to the fact that Scream should have played a bigger part with that much introduction time. And even though the designs of the character were pretty cool, the plot was all over the place. So, and I'm not a big fan of a movie that I can't really follow. So, if I can't follow the movie, because it would switch from Eddie and Venom breaking up, Venom at a party, Eddie trying to figure out what to do without Venom, and then Screaming Cletus doing whatever it was they were doing, committing crimes all over town. And then, the fact that final fight between Cletus and Venom, or Carnage and Venom, I would say it was good if it was actually a fight that looked like it was impossible to win on Venom's side. Because obviously I'm on Venom's side in that movie, only due to the fact that I knew Carnage was evil all the way through, and that all he wanted to do was murder people. But anyway, like in the first movie, it seemed like it wasn't going to be possible at all for Venom to win until Anne had pressed the button and blew the place up. And then still, Venom almost didn't win. And it just looked, and I would say that's what I like to see when looking at a movie and looking at a hero. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, I believe I was saying something about the fight in the first Venom movie, and then I was about to get into the fight in the second movie that made it so much less enjoyable. First of all, with the second movie's fight, at the end, it was clear that Venom knew he shouldn't have won, well, thought he wouldn't win. And, that's something I didn't like because of how egotistical the Venom symbiote was in the first movie. I don't like the fact that in the second movie, that the entirety of his ego said, adios, we're out, see ya, peace. And so, that's the first reason that I disliked that second movie's fight, because of the fact that his ego was shattered in less than half a second. He transforms, he starts heading to Cletus, and Carnage comes out, and he stops in his tracks and disappears and says, "Oh!" And then when Eddie says, "Where are you going?" he says, "That is the red one." Where'd the ego go? I dislike the fact that his entire ego was shattered in half a second just by the transformation of his own son. Which, yes, I get that in the comics, every time a symbiote has an offspring, they are like double, they're about twice the power of the parent symbiote, or the parenting symbiote. And so I don't, and then not only that, the fact that he gained all of Venom's traits, all of Eddie's traits, and then got Cletus Cassidy's traits as well. So even though the odds were against Venom, his ego, well, with how egotistical he was in the first movie, I don't think his ego should have been completely shattered in that split time frame. With such a small bump, because in the first movie, he kept fighting till the very end, and when Riot, who was also much stronger than Venom, when Riot was fighting, he didn't give up. He tried to stay with Eddie till the very end. So, seeing this, I personally believe that he shouldn't have had such an ego. If they were gonna crush his ego in half a second in the first movie, or in the second movie, he shouldn't have had such an ego in the first movie, or his ego should have either grown, or there should have been something that notified us of his ego going down a bit. So, anyway, back on topic with what I was talking about at the beginning of this stream. Those are my Funkos that I'm reviewing. Those were the Funkos that I was going to review today. Was not expecting to review the Funkos that are in here, which are the two Baby Yoda Pops that I did show, only due to the fact that I felt they wouldn't get shown if I didn't show them now, because I would forget about them eventually. And then this, like I said, I didn't plan on showing it, only due to the fact that I don't view it as a collectible. I view it as a toy. So it's never originally it would have been on display had I not run out of room, but I also play with it too much, so I decided that I wasn't going to put it on display at all, even if I had the room. But it did get shown only due to the fact that I was talking about Venom, and I figured I might as well show it, considering the fact that I'm on the general topic. So, with that all out of the way, that's pretty much the first little bit of my, well, that's the first stream on this channel. And maybe next time, if I get on early enough, I might be able to have, as Sean, Uncle M90 says, the Blind Swordsman join me. But I think I'm going to end the stream here, and maybe do another stream, not on StreamYard though, and that will be a video game stream. Now, this is a low possibility, only due to the fact that I've already spent almost an hour streaming this Funko stream. But I did enjoy making this video for people to watch in the future. And again, I think I might end it here, but I'm gonna look around my. I'm just kind of taking a couple of looks around my room, seeing if there's anything else I want to show off or talk about at the time. It doesn't look like it. But I will say one last thing. I do like Batman. I do not have very many collectibles, so in the probably the last episode of this series, or one of the last episodes, once I've run out of display Funkos that are on display, I will be showing my total Funkos, and I do have a couple of Batman ones in there. As of now, I don't have anything that is a Chase Funko, or I don't believe I have any glow in the darks. As of now, I have some exclusive Funkos. That's about it. But I am, and another reason I'm only showing 2 of my collection pieces is because, well, 4, but the original plan was for 2, is because I don't want to run out of content. So that, because I don't, unlike Funko Illuminati, LBD, and my father, I can't come up with ideas to talk about every week. And also, I'm not even sure if this will be a regular thing where I stream on Mondays, or if this will be something that only happens every once in a while when I get the chance to. Would I like it to be a regular thing on Mondays? I would. But no guarantees, especially considering school's going to start back up very, very soon. So, this will probably be one of the first. This is going to be the first Funko stream on this channel, and probably one of the only ones for a while, only because, like I said, school's going to be starting back up, and I'm probably going to have quite a bit of homework to do when I get home and stuff, and I have chores as well. But as of now, I will try and make this a regular thing every Monday, and if at all possible, I'd like to make it from 5 to 7. I might do sometimes show some of the things that show some of my more miscellaneous collectibles, which I'm not sure yet, because only due to the fact that most of those collectibles that I don't show off right now are collectibles that I've had for a while and got thrown in my tote, only due to the fact that at the time I didn't have any display room for them, and then decided that and then even when I did have display room for them, I ended up not displaying them at all because of the fact that I couldn't decide which ones I wanted on display. But since I've gotten some of my newer ones, I have decided which ones that I like on display the best. And as I've stated, the Venom Funkos are definitely my favorite ones, and I'm going to continue collecting them for a while. So this series will probably last for quite a long time. But as of right now, it looks like I have probably another, I don't know, maybe 10 episodes if I keep up with my regular, well, not 10 episodes. I'd say maybe I can make 3 off of what I have on my shelf right now for Venom stuff, and then I have 2 miscellaneous items up there, which I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about those, but I have 6, so that's another 3, so that'll be 7 more episodes for sure. Could have made it. I could have made another 8 episodes had I not shown the 2 Baby Yoda Funkos that are in here, but I decided that I probably wouldn't end up showing them if I hadn't shown them now. So that is one of the only reasons why they got shown in this episode instead of not shown at all. But like I said, I think I'm probably going to end off the stream here. Maybe do a video game stream later night here on the same channel. So, but we'll see you guys later. And I guess I should probably put this stuff back. Bye.